Hey there guys, I am SonicGhost, and today I'm here to unbox a couple different things related to Splatoon 2. Splatoon 2 came out here at the very tail end of July on the 21st, and with that we got a couple different things as you can see here on shot. We got some Amiibos, the game itself, a headset, and other things that I don't have is a brand new set of Joy-Cons along with a brand new Switch Pro controller. Now the Switch Pro controller you can actually get now here in the States, but if you want the Joy-Cons, you actually have to import those from Japan because for now, Japan is the only area that actually has these different colored Joy-Cons for Splatoon 2. We're not going to get them here in North America until the fall. But I already have myself a Pro controller and I already have myself some Joy-Cons, so I just wanted to go ahead and get just these accessories you see here. I wanted the Amiibo because I'm a big fan of the Splatoon series, so of course I want those new Amiibo figures because I really like the designs. And then you also have the Switch headset, which this to me looks cool, but at the same time, a lot of people aren't a fan of this because they're not a fan of how the setup for voice chat on the Switch works. But let's just go ahead and actually start to unbox some of this stuff, shall we? So let's go ahead and start this unboxing off by opening up the game itself. So this here is Splatoon 2, and as you can see, we got some very detailed looking box art here. So just like the first game, it's very expressive, very colorful. I do like that. If you flip around the back here, as you can see, you got all the information about the game. Spot your way to the top with some Forum 4 battles, whether it be the rank modes or your standard turf war. Talking about the new mode in the game, Salmon Run. So that's your horde mode style gameplay. Then you also have Octo Canyon, the single player mode. You get your Amiibo support. And then also here, the game tells you how you can play it. Handheld mode, TV mode, and you can also do LAN play. So it's a lot of information about the game here in the back, so let's just go ahead and open this up. And when you have a game like this, you're not going to have too much content in it, so what I'm going to do to open this, I'm just going to take a knife here. And very carefully, I'm just going to slide the knife right into the segment here and just make a little slit. So now with that, we'll just take off the protective sleeve here, get this plastic off. And that's that. So put it down, and once you open it up, that's the case in the game itself. So as you can see, very small cartridge. I can really smell the cartridge as soon as I open the box, so that's a very strong smell. Brand new indeed. So there's the focus. Splatoon 2, very nice looking cartridge. As always, Nintendo does a good job with their box art with these kind of games, so I'm very happy about that. And here is the inside, which you can see you got the Splatoon 2 theme here for the background. I believe that's more for an advertisement on single player side of things. And then with the cartridges, you have the Salmon Run advertisement. So that's a nice little piece of detailed design, I should say. So I like how that looks. So yeah, that's the game, and you know, not much you get inside of a game cartridge box anymore, but you know, I'm not too surprised about that. And honestly, I think the game looks very nice in my opinion. Box art's very nice and detailed, which is all I can ask for nowadays. Now that we opened up the game, let's go ahead and take a look at the Amiibos that were released for Splatoon 2. Now, Splatoon 2 does work with all the same Amiibos that were released for the Wii U game. So if you have any of those figures, you know, Callie, Marie, the Inkling Boy, Girl, or Squid, and their alternate color forms, they will work in Splatoon 2. But I wanted to go ahead and get the new versions here because, well, one, I'm not sure if they do anything different in the game, and even if they don't, I want these new versions just because I like how they look, honestly. The designs look very nice and cool to me, so let's go ahead and start by opening up the Girl Amiibo box here. So as you can see, that's the girl, and very expressive. This is the new style using the dualies. And you also have the skirt on her instead, so it's also showing new clothing on her, new hairstyle as well as short hair. If you flip around on the back, as you can see, there's really only talk about the 3DS and Switch for Amiibo functionality. The Wii U nowadays, forget about it. Nintendo's trying to, so that's kind of sad, but it's also not surprising. And you have some of the features that the Amiibo can unlock in the game here in the back, so it's all interesting. But let's just go ahead and open her up. So I just want to go ahead and take my finger here, peel off some of the side, and then once I get enough peeled off, I just take my finger and kind of rub it around the inside. Everyone has their own different methods of unboxing Amiibo. This is just the one I choose because it's the one that damages the box the least. So if you want to save the box, then you can do so, while at the same time, it's easy to get into. So let's just go ahead, take her out here, and take off the little plastic, put this back together, and now with her unboxed, we'll just put the box right back here, so just make sure it doesn't fling off the table. There you go. It's a little open, but it's not too big of a deal. So here's the girl. Looks very expressive, and like I mentioned before, she has a new type of gun, the skirt on, some new clothing style, the short hair, and it's a nice hot pink. So it's a very nice looking figure. So next, let's go ahead and unbox the Inkling Boy. So again, this is what he looks like. New hairstyle, and he's using the splatter shot, so it's not a new weapon this time around. And he's also wearing shorts, so again, new clothing style. Back of the box, very similar to the first. You got your Amiibo functionality here and what consoles it could be used on. So again, just want to go ahead, pop off the side here, and then get my finger inside of it. This one I'm just going to do a little faster now because we've already seen this process. It's no different, honestly. So Amiibo's out. Put it back together just so we can get out of the way. And now, here's the boy. Very nice looking. I do like this nice new hairstyle. It kind of reminds me of like a hairstyle you might have seen in like the 70s or something. Like it looks like an Elvis hairstyle to me, honestly. So very nice looking. He's got that nice green ink rocking here, and it's a very nice shade of green. Doesn't come through the perfect way on the camera, but what are you gonna do? So he looks very good. And now we have one more Amiibo left, the squid. This one's a purple squid, and he's jumping around. So it kind of looks like he's either jumping out of his ink, or maybe he's doing a squid jump, which is what you can do in Splatoon 1 and 2. So again, here's your functionality. Here's the consoles you can really be using it on. And oh, actually it does show Wii U, but at the same time, what are you going to use this on the Wii U with, right? That's why it's such a hard to see things in the corner. Like a lot of people's like, hey, hang on. So it's something I miss. So if you're already writing down in the comments like, hey, it has Amiibo support for the Wii U, it's like, again, it's so far out of the way, it's not easy to see. It's not something that it jumps out to me as much as like the Smash line of Amiibos, for example. And again, if these work very similarly to the first wave of the Splatoon Amiibos for Wii U, then you can probably use these in a similar fashion. I just don't think they're going to do anything special in Splatoon 1 on Wii U. And it's the only game, besides maybe Mario Kart, that you can use these Splatoon figures with anyways. So there you go, that one's out. So now, let's look at the squid. And he is very expressive looking there. I do like how his face just looks angry, like he is ready for battle. And that purple ink just shooting up, it just looks so detailed. And as you can see, it bounces off the light quite nicely in this room. So it's a very nice looking shade of purple in my opinion. And it's a very detailed Amiibo just like the others here. So before we go ahead and stop looking at the Amiibo, I want to go ahead and compare these Amiibo to the normal Amiibo here that were released for the Wii U version of Splatoon. So let's first look at the girl, and as you can see, the expressions, you can tell that Splatoon 2 is a lot more serious looking. So this is the Wave 1 version. I'm not going to show off the Wave 2 because they're similar. The only major difference is they're a little different color. Like the Inkling girl, this would be a green-haired Inkling girl and different color eyes. So it's not that much different. I just want to mainly show the design changes, and you can see that the Splatoon 2 versions of these Inklings are even more ready for battle than the Splatoon 1 versions. Again, if we take a look at our boys here, you can already see once I get their faces facing the camera, viewfinder's a little off to the side for me, so I'm a little slow on this, I do apologize, but as you can see, the boy here in Splatoon 2 looks a lot more ready for battle than the Splatoon 1 figure does. I mean, don't get me wrong, this one still looks ready to battle, but this guy, he's all ready to go. He's got that nice smirky attitude going, so I like how expressive these guys are. And again, let's go ahead and compare these squids real quick. So here's the squid from 1 and 2. Actually, kind of reversed. I want to keep this pretty consistent. There you go. As you can see, very similar, but the Inkling from Splatoon 1 here, jumping in the squid form, is a little more recessed, while with the one in Splatoon 2, he is ready to go right away. He's already mid-flop, so nice difference there. Again, more expressive with the Splatoon 2 version, so I do like how they look there. So just line up these figures here, and with that, that's the Amiibo for you. They look very nice and expressive, and again, they look more expressive than their Splatoon 1 counterparts, as you can see here. So let me just actually put them all side by side. That way, you can just see what I'm talking about right away. So very expressive in my opinion. And having all these figures next to each other, they look really nice. Now the only thing we're missing from Splatoon 2 is, just like with the first game, we have our hosts in Amiibo form, Callie and Marie. Now we're just missing the Pearl and Marina Amiibo. Maybe at some point they'll release those. Who knows? Now the last thing we have here to unbox is the Splatoon 2 Splat and Chat headset. Now this headset here is primarily used for the Nintendo Switch voice app program that was recently released for smartphones. So the reason why a lot of people don't really like the setup for the voice chat right now with Splatoon 2 and other games to come for the Switch is, as you can see, it doesn't look that bad because here's your headset. It looks like your normal headset, and it's behind the head style, so it fits on your head a little bit differently, as you can see by the Inkling boy here. You can see nothing on the top of his head because the headphones are all around back. We'll take a look at those later. But if you flip the box on its side, this thing right here, this is the reason why people don't like this idea, because, as you can see on the back here, documentation shows you use this headset to connect not only to your Switch for the game audio, but to a separate device like a smartphone, tablet, and you use these two items in combination to chat with your headset. It's a very clunky style, but it's just really the problem with the Switch itself. It's not a problem with this headset, because honestly, from what I've seen, this headset does its job, and it's doing everything that it can. But the problem is, the Switch does not have any kind of microphone support whatsoever. It does not have a microphone built in, so you can't use the Switch itself to talk to people, unlike the Wii U or 3DS where they do have microphones. And then another problem is, the Switch's headphone port is just that, just for headphones. You cannot use it for any kind of headsets. It won't support them. So you have to use the Switch for audio only from the headphone port, meaning you have to use a separate device if you want to have voice chat. This is not a problem with the design of this headset in particular, which is what most people are blaming. It's more or less the design of the Switch. And I can agree with this setup. It is honestly stupid, and I don't see myself ever really using the voice chat app with this kind of combination on my Switch and smartphone. I just find it really cool just to have these headphones, honestly, and that's mainly why I want them, for the headphones. I also need the adapter for future-proofing because, you know, I kind of need this thing, honestly, if I want to use this to show off any footage of Splatoon 2 in the future, kind of like how I did with Splatoon 1. You kind of need this, honestly. So let's just go ahead and get everything out of the box here. And first off, let's start with this, because we have the headset itself in here, but start with this here. So inside this bag, I'm actually going to go ahead and open it up and take out our contents here. So first up, here's the microphone. This is a detachable microphone, so when we get to the headset, you can see that this end here will just plug straight into it. So that's the one nice thing about these headphones. They can either be headphones or they could be a headphone microphone combo. So we can just choose whichever one you want to use at the time. And here's your extension cable as well. So this is male to female, meaning you can easily extend your signal if your Switch won't reach your headset and your smartphone. So it's nice to include one of these because you're gonna need it, honestly, especially if you're using this headset combination in TV mode, because of how far away your Switch is probably going to be from your couch. You're going to want it. So here's the device. You plug in your headphones up to the top here, so this is where your headset will be. And then down here you have two separate wires that are connected to this thing physically, so if these go out, you're kind of screwed, honestly. One here, which is this side. This is the headphone monitoring side, which is this cord here, the red one. So this goes into your Switch. And we'll look at this here in a moment, actually on the Switch, and just see how big of a mess this looks. So you got this end for audio from your Switch, and then you have the other cord here, which has a smartphone on it, so this will connect to your phone or tablet to be used for voice chat. So that's how clunky this is. It's unnecessary in all honesty. You have an on, off, and mute switch for your mic here, so you could just easily flip that if you just need to mute yourself real quick if your headset doesn't already have a mute function like this one does not. On the side here, you also have a volume rocker. A little hard to see in the camera, but right in here is your little volume switch, so you can turn up and down your headphones using this. And you also have this here to actually just control your headphones themselves. So you have two of these. One is specifically just for voice chat. So this one here on the side, this controls your smartphone audio. While the one here on the top, as you can see by this icon, which is again kind of hard to see, this is to control your game sound from your Switch, if I'm not mistaken. Either that, or it just controls the master volume for both of these. Again, we'll look at this here in a moment, but that's kind of a mess, honestly. Like, this is just unnecessary, in my opinion. So, there's still more in here. But, for now, we're going to ignore the rest because I want to go ahead and actually open up the headphones themselves. And, oh, I see, what's the problem? There's a little flap on the bottom you can open up, so I gotta go ahead and take back out my handy dandy knife and cut into it. Very carefully, mind you, not just because I don't want to cut the cord, but I also don't want to cut my finger. When you're cutting, you gotta be careful about that. So, there we go, we got it opened up now, so there we go, cord's free. Not really how I would pack headphones, honestly, but it's whatever. It's their method they chose to keep everything not only safe, but also in one place, so it works, I guess. But now with that said, let's just take this little protective piece off, and we have ourselves our headphones. So here is the Splatoon 2 headset. You have your Inkling rating right here. Same for the ear pieces here. You have your rating on that as well. Up here, you also have some buttons as well to control things, but they're not actual buttons. They're just there for plastic pieces, pretty much for show. Honestly, this would have been really cool because they look like play and pause buttons. Like if this was some kind of volume control rocker on the headphones themselves, that would have been a very nice touch. But yeah, these are your headphones, and they go on your head just like this. So again, we'll look at these in a moment on my actual head because nobody out there is apparently showing that for some reason. Not sure why. But these here, these little cups, these can be changed because that's the next thing and the final thing in this box is you have these little replacements here. You can actually swap off the faceplates on the headphones. So if you want either the green ones that are on the headphones by default, or if you want the red ones here, you can go ahead and just change them out in an instant. So I'm just going to take one of these off. So we're going to be doing a little bit of a mishmash color here. One's going to be red and one's going to be green. So just want to go ahead and take this now. And without reading any instructions, we want to go ahead and do this carefully. So how this works is you just take your piece and you just slide it down a little bit and it just pops right off. So it's just held together there by little plastic pieces, so it's very easy to get in and out of the headset. So then we just take the other one here and line it up. There you go. Pops on just like that. I was a little confused because I actually grabbed the wrong one. The one I grabbed here was for the other ear, so they are matched for your earpiece, which is a little confusing at first, honestly, but yeah, one side's now red and one side's now green. And you can interchange these at will. So that's very nice that you can do that. And if you don't like the green that they come with, I'll just change it out. Simple as that. Although, in the camera, this is looking more brown, and even in real life, it looks like a very dark shade of red, similar to a brownish color. So it's not pure red, kind of like the cables here, for example. It's not this kind of red, but it's still a nice shade of red, honestly. And yeah, let's now go ahead and take a look at how not only these headphones feel once we go ahead and attach the microphone, which is right here. As you can see, there's your hole. Just take your mic here and then plugs right on in. So there you go. Now you got a headset. So let's go ahead and take the headset, connect it together to my Switch and my phone using this device, and all of his extra cables because probably going to need an extension. And let's just see how big of a mess we can create using all of this stuff just to talk to our friends while playing some Splatoon 2. So to end this unboxing video, I want to go ahead and take a look at how all this stuff works for the Splat and Chat headset. So let's first take a look at the headset itself. Now I took the liberty to remove the microphone piece for now because I just want to look at these as pure headphones. And as you can see, they fit pretty nicely. These headphones look like they're ripped straight out of Splatoon 2. This is one of the headgear pieces that you can go ahead and buy in the game, so I feel like an inkling right from Inkopolis, and that's a really nice touch. They're behind the ear headphones, which means I have a little bit of wiggle room back here with my fingers, you can see, so they do fit perfectly fine. And at first, looking at pictures of these, I thought these headphones would be too small, but if you're an adult buying these, don't worry, they will fit because my head isn't gigantic, but at the same time, it's not small. And if my head can fit these headphones perfectly fine, then I can safely say that this can fit pretty much anyone's head. So that's nice. Let's go ahead and plug in the microphone piece. So now we have the headset portion. And, you know, it doesn't really change too much, but now that we have this here, we can go ahead and move the microphone accordingly. It is a flexible arm, so I can move it close to my mouth or away like I did earlier. And now I'm ready to talk to my friends on voice chat. So in order to do this properly, you could just plug in your headset directly into the switch. Problem is, if you do this, it's only just going to be game audio. So if you want to talk to your friends, you're going to need to have this adapter, and you're also going to need to have a cell phone if you want to use your headset with both your switch and voice chat and hear it all in your ears. You don't have to do this method, but this is what Nintendo recommends. So using any kind of smart device like an Android or iOS device, you can definitely get this done by using maybe a smartphone or a tablet of some kind. So what we're going to do is we're going to plug in our headset to the top here, and now we have these two cords to work with. This one here with the red tip, this one's for headphones. So we want to go ahead and plug this into the switch. And now I can hear my switch audio from this adapter in my ears. So let's go ahead and take the other cord here, which has the black tip and is labeled for the cell phone. Plug that into our phone, and now I have audio coming from my phone as well as from the switch. You can go ahead and independently adjust the volume of either your switch or your phone on here, so that's cool. So if you want one thing to be louder than the others, you have full control with this adapter, and that's very nice. You also have the mute switch here, so if you want to go ahead and mute yourself, you just flip it down, now I'm muted, and if I flip it back up, people will hear me again, so that's a very nice touch. Now if you're wondering how this headset does sound, because that's one thing about microphones I'm always curious about is audio quality, well, what we're going to go ahead and do is for right now, I'm going to go ahead and swap over to the audio for this headset now. So what you're hearing is me talking into this microphone, and it's okay, honestly. I mean, for $30, it's not terrible, and this does definitely get the job done for voice chat, especially if you're connected to something like a cell phone. It's not terrible for that reason. But at the same time, you could easily do better. I mean, this setup here is a mess, and honestly, something like this, it's a novelty to have, but I wouldn't recommend, if you're going to talk to people seriously in voice chat for Splatoon 2, that you use this headset and this mess of a wire situation, especially if you're going to play with your Switch in TV mode, because this is definitely not going to work. That's why they put an 8-foot extension cable in the packaging, and even then, that still might not be long enough for you. So I would definitely take all this with just a novelty's sake. I wouldn't take it as actually using seriously, because if you do, you might have some problems. Honestly, the thing I can recommend you do instead of using all this stuff is you get yourself a pair of cheap headphones, because these can easily come with any smartphone, and a lot of earbuds like this nowadays have this little piece here which you can use as a microphone, so that way you have a more comfortable pair of headphones to wear for long periods of time. And if you don't want to use something like this and you want to have something more high grade, you can definitely get yourself a proper headset, because something like this definitely feels better. It has better sound quality for both the headphones and also the microphone, and I can wear this for hours on end without worrying about it, comparison to this headset here, which I can wear for maybe half an hour to about an hour, and my ears start to get tired because there's only plastic here holding up the headphones on the back of your ears. So while the headphones themselves might have some nice padding to them, this plastic piece that rests on your ear doesn't, and after a while that starts to dig. So I won't recommend wearing these things for anything longer than an hour. After that, your ears are probably going to start to hurt. But if you're going to go through all this hassle, do stuff like this, then I recommend you look into something else because it's a nice novelty to have. But for serious voice chatting, I recommend you go with a proper headset and then use something like Skype or Discord, or even just call your friend up on the phone itself, like actually initiate a cell phone call. Because right now, the voice chat app for Nintendo's games, like Splatoon 2, it's not the best because there's no background use, so you have to always have the app on and active, which can drain your battery after a while. So I won't recommend you do all this stuff. It's a very nice novelty to have this kind of adapter, this headset, and then just feel like you're an actual Inkling and just to have the experience. But I wouldn't recommend anyone just go out and get stuff like this. I find I'm going to probably get more use out of the Amiibos that I got for Splatoon 2 than the headset itself. But I love how this thing looks, and that's why I mainly wanted it. So I'm glad I got that. And another problem is, if I wanted to use this headset on anything else, it's a one cord only setup. So if you have something like a desktop that has a microphone and a headphone jack separated, you're going to need one of these adapters if you want to use this on anything else. So I have to plug the headset into one cord to break out into two. So there's just a lot more headache to this thing than what's worth. And like I said, it's a nice novelty item, but not something you should use seriously. But with that said, I am happy I still have this because I'm still getting a lot of use out of this headset anyways. And with or without the mic piece, I just think it still looks very good. And I still feel like an Inkling right out of Inkopolis, and that's why I wanted these. So I'm still very happy with all the stuff I had. And I know this was a long unboxing video, but there's just a lot of stuff to show off with all these different things. So with that said, thank you all for watching this video, and I'll see you guys next time.